Welcome to Bahamas Educational Express science lesson video entitled From Flower to Flower. In this lesson, learners will be able to name the female and male parts of the flower, state the function of the petal and the staple, and explain how seeds are scattered. Let's review the parts of a plant. We know that a plant has petals, leaf, anthea, stem, and roots. Now, let's look at the word angiosperm. So another name for a flowering plant is called angiosperm. All flowering plants produce seeds. The seeds are produced by flowers. Now we're going to look at some important parts of a flowering plant. And the main parts of a flower is sepal, petals, pistils, and the stamens. Sepal, petals, pistil, stamen. Let us go to the first part, the sepal. Parts that look like little green leaves that cover the outside of a flower bud to protect the flower before it opens. And that's the sepal. The petal. Petals attract insects to the plant. Plants need insects to bring pollen they have collected from other flowers so they can make seeds. Petals are bright colors to attract insects. The petal. The stamen. The male part of the flower, it is made up of the anthea and the filament. Stamen. The anthea. The yellow pouch-like part inside of the flower that holds pollen grains. It is usually on top of a long stalk that looks like a fine hair. Anthea. The filament. This is the fine hair-like stalk that supports the anthea. Filament. Pistil. The female part of the flower made up of 4 parts. The female part of the flower, which is made up of 4 parts. The style. This is the long stalk that supports the stigma. So that's the first part of the female part of the flower, which is the pistil, is the style. The second part is the stigma. A female part of the flower. It is the sticky bulb that you see in the center of a flower and is the part where the pollen lands and starts the fertilization process. Style. And at top is the stigma. Let's look at the ovary. This is the third part of the pistil, the female part. The part of a plant, usually at the base of the flower, that has the seed inside and turns into the fruit that we eat. Style. Now we have in here the ovary. Ovule, the part of the ovary that becomes the seed. Ovary, ovule. Let's look at how flowers reproduce. The female part of the flower produces the fruit and the seed, and the male parts produce pollen. Flowers help to ensure that the pollen from the male part of the flower gets to the female part of the flower. This process is called pollination. Pollination is the first important step in seed formation. Seeds have very tiny plants inside them. These grow into new plants and ensure that the group continues to survive. Now let's look at the seed coat. The fruit protects the seeds and provides them with food and minerals. It helps it to produce a protective coat called the seed coat. When seeds are mature, the fruit ripens. Do you know that farmers are the only persons who plant seeds? Let's talk about how seeds are scattered in other ways. Animals eat the fruit and scatter the seeds. This allows the seeds to grow into new plants in different places. So we see the ram here. There is a seed on the ram's coat, and as he moves about, it will drop in different places. The other one is the coconut. As the coconut falls and it falls by the water, by the sea, it is carried away. Then we have the birds. The birds normally eat the fruit, the seed. And what happens? Sometimes when they're flying and they're moving about, the seeds drop into different places. Then we have the seeds that the wind or the flower that the wind will blow. And when that is blown into different places, then seed land and germinate and grow. Bees pick up pollen on their legs, butterfly carrying pollen on their body parts. These are some other ways that seeds are scattered. Bats pick up pollen on their fur. Birds carry pollen on their feathers. Parts of a flower. You notice the stamen, which is the male part, the ovary, that is where the seed will grow, the petal, that is the bright color part of the flower, the pollen, that is on the stigma, the pistil, that is the female part, and then we have the ovary, that is where the young seed is germinate. Let's remember that all plants have a life cycle. The changes that occur from the time a seed grows into a new plant until that plant produces seed. This process is called the life cycle of a plant. Can you name the parts of the flower? Pause the video and let's name the parts. Okay, are you ready? Let's get some answers. The anther, very good. The petal, very good. The sepal, very good. The ovule, very good. The ovary, that's correct. The filament, That's correct. The style. And you are correct. Great job. That's our lesson on flower, from flower to flower.